walking to the studio with an Uncrustable, and one of our employees at NBC, who's very funny, was like, "Is that an Uncrustable?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "What are you, 8 years old?" I was like, I just felt like I got haymaker. I was like, "Excuse me, this is an apple cinnamon Uncrustable with 12 grams of protein."
Oh no, this is the anabolic steroids version.
Ma'am, there's Tren in this. Yeah. Now leave me alone.
The opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. Trevor Sikkema, Connor Rogers here with you guys for a very exciting Monday edition of the show. Connor, it's tradition around these parts. Monday after week 18.
You know, buddy.
You know what's happening. We're doing a mock draft, baby. Full first round mock draft, and probably, sprinkling in some analysis for those teams that don't have first round picks. But mainly what we want to do is run through a new 2026 mock draft now that we have the finalized draft order for the non-playoff teams. This is obviously a big deal because when you and I have done mock drafts in the past over the last couple of months, there's all sorts of speculation, right? Well, if they're picking here, if they would do this, I don't want to think about trades because we don't even know if they're going to pick here. I don't know if we're going to do trades here in this mock draft per se, but I think we get to at least have the conversation now of, okay, we will think about this. This is something that we could dive into in future mocks or future exercises for these teams. So it's always a very exciting Monday. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's always nice to get that kind of feel of what the top of the draft actually looks like rather than doing if this team picks here, this team could trade here, and if this quarterback was here.
Right.
Now, and that's part of the fun that we have, and we do that throughout the year, but it feels a little different when you could start to move the puzzle pieces across the board. And I think that now the big variables are some big declarations that have not officially happened yet, or they could go back to school. That's a big needle mover at the top of this draft, especially when you're looking at not the first pick, but the first two picks in this thing. But man, yeah,
I'm excited there.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like that? Yeah. So, you like that? It's like
that's PTSD. Don't give me that. That was against the Buccaneers. That's PTSD.
My Kirk Cousins is growing and showing right there. Scary hours. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this one today because it feels like you and I, we've unpacked a lot of different deep dives, but we don't get to talk about the news a lot. And this feels like a mock draft where we actually get to touch on the news side of things.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of stuff that's happening on this Monday as well. This is traditionally when all of the teams that are going to make changes at general manager or head coach do so. And so we've obviously got some news that happened this morning, and we also get to catch up on a lot of the declarations, like you talked about, some guys who are entering the transfer portal, going back to school, not in the draft. I try to get that as updated as possible before we embark on this exercise here for a full first round mock draft. So we've already got demands from people in the chat. M said either the Saints draft Mekhi Lemon or I'm unsubscribing. So not only do we have the chat riled up, we also have threats. We've got some threats here early on in the show, which means
those are fighting words.
You guys are primed and ready to go for this mock draft. So you know what? Let's give it to the people. Let's pull it up. Let's get into it right off the bat. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to analyze. As we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, we see some of the early super chats from you guys already. We love you. We'll read the super chats. What we've been doing is we've been doing that at the end of the episode. The topical super chats that we see, we'll read some of those throughout the show. But for a lot of them, we'll save them for the after the episode part of the program, which you guys obviously can stick around for after we are done with this mock draft. So here it is. The first round order. Just the order in general.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that a lot of these
at it.
Spots are solidified. This is better than the Mona Lisa, which, by the way,
you've seen it, right?
I've seen it.
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10.
Don't need to go back.
Yeah, no.
Don't even need to tell people to go.
No.
3 out of 10.
I saw from down the hall a large crowd of people hovering around something. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a pretty big museum. And
yeah,
it's got to be a big deal. All those people over there. That's how small it is. That it's they could be hovering over.
Dude, it is. It's a tiny picture.
It's small, man.
It's such a tiny picture.
You walk up, you don't feel greatness, right? You don't.
No, absolutely not.
like when I was in Belgium in Ghent, I went to the Lamb of God, and that felt like greatness. They like need to pull panels to show this thing. It's like the size of a movie theater screen.
That's the craziest flex of a sentence I've ever
You like
heard
that?
in my life. What you just dropped on.
I'm not that cool anymore.
I
Back when
can't
used to
even.
have
I
fun.
can't even repeat it. There were words in there that I didn't recognize. I didn't. I do. That was That was crazy. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
Mona Lisa 3 out of 10. I'm with you. Great take, Trev. Good way to start us off.
You know what they need to do is they need to just replace the Mona Lisa with just a giant the Arnold Conquered picture where his arms are just outstretched.
I like this. It's in every gym.
Just put that in that room, and it's it'll improve, I think, the quality of the Louvre tenfold.
I'm with you. Although you got him. That's $1 million idea there, young man.
So, anyways, what we have here is the PFF mock draft simulator, fully unlocked, of course. Better than the Mona Lisa, I will say. Now that more than half of the draft order is solidified. So it's always a lot of fun to dig into this once that draft order is solidified. And we have the Las Vegas Raiders picking at number 1 overall. We've got the Jets there at number 2, the Cardinals at number 3, the Titans at 4, and the Giants at 5. Obviously, we'll continue to go throughout the entire first round as we get into it. But our chef and producer behind the scenes, Tyler Cook, you can hit that enter draft button because I think we're ready for it. Connor, do you want it? Are we doing odds or evens?
Oh, baby.
Are we going back and forth? We haven't done one of these in a while.
Where are the Bucks?
I don't care.
You don't
15.
care, huh?
They're 15.
All right, so for the first one, you'll take odds and I'll take evens.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. We can do that here. So the last time that we did a mock draft, I believe the Raiders were picking either number 2 or number 3 overall. And you actually brought up the point of having the Raiders try to trade up with one spot with the New York Giants at the time, who had the number 1 overall pick, and how that probably made the most sense for them. Well, what made even more sense, as long as they didn't piss off Max Crosby too much and have to trade him now, is now they don't even have to do anything to pick at number 1 overall, which is incredibly advantageous for them. Pete Carroll's now been fired as their head coach, which, to be honest with you, man, I love Pete. He's a legend in college football, legend in pro football. And he's just the man. I mean, you listen to this guy talk about football. He just enjoys it so much. And I love him as a coach. I really do. They had to do this. Very clearly, this entire year was telling us that there was a major disconnect between him and general manager John Spytek. And we went over this when we were doing the Fixing the Raiders, a Fix Your Franchise episode, which you guys can see on the channel if you guys haven't watched that. But I brought up the snap count and usage of some of these younger players where it's like, dude, you're not good in these areas and you're not playing these young guys. Like, what I don't understand. What are we doing? And then let alone, Pete Son's the offensive line coach, and the offensive line took a major step back. Geno Smith was terrible this season. Chip Kelly didn't work out as the offensive coordinator. It was a mess. So they had to make the change. It seems as though in the early hours, Brian Flores could be the favorite to be the head coach there with Las Vegas, which would be very exciting. I agree. That would be a big time culture change. I think in a welcomed way, but we'll see who the offensive mind would be, who do you bring along there as the offensive coordinator. Regardless, his pick has to be a quarterback. And I think it's easily Fernando Mendoza. For as much as I love Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza is the guy. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's got the arm talent. He knows how to attack deep down the field. You see that elite passing grade, both in intermediate and deep areas of the field. Is he perfect in all situations? No, but I think if perfect is the bar for a quarterback, you're always going to be disappointed. He's pretty good under pressure with a 71.4 overall grade. Anything in the 70s under pressure, you feel really good about. And then in a clean pocket, no pressure, 91.9 overall passing grade. You feel pretty good about that one as well. I think Fernando Mendoza is worthy of this number 1 overall pick, and I think it's the move that the Raiders have to make.
Dude, that's what I would have done in your spot. Now, obviously, there could be some conversation leading up to the draft. It doesn't feel like, as we sit here in January, that it's locked in. But right now, it just makes a lot of sense, right? When you look at it and you look at the guy that has the highest floor, and the fact that Dante Moore, while not even officially in this draft, needs a little bit of time to develop. You could see a world where if Tom Brady has a little bit more influence over this draft, although obviously it'll be up to the GM and the coaches, why he would like Mendoza so much. So yeah, Trev, I'm with you on that one. I think you're going to see Mendoza going first overall in a lot of mock drafts, but not 100% lock, obviously.
Yeah, and Mendoza seems like just such a student of the game as well, which I know Tom Brady will appreciate. However much his voice in the room like carries whatever percentage of value that is. Not to say that Dante Moore is not, but like I think that this is just going to be the obvious choice for the next 3 months that Fernando Mendoza is going to be there for the Las Vegas Raiders. So that puts you on the clock here at number 2 overall with the New York Jets, who are keeping Aaron Glenn, keeping him for a second year. I don't know how much change there's going to be throughout the rest of the coaching staff. You could probably bring some better insight into there, but
yeah,
now that the Jets have this number 2 overall selection, where's your mind go here?
It's a quarterback. And I'm kind of surprised how many people are overthinking this. Of course, there's a world where Dante Moore doesn't declare. We've seen all the noise around that.
Right.
The last I have heard is that he doesn't even know. Like, it's based on the playoff right now. And then probably a little time period after it of figuring out what's best for your future, which needs to be discussed with the school and your representation and your professional feedback from the league. But we're operating with this mock draft that he is in the draft today. And if he's in this draft and Fernando Mendoza goes 1, how, if you're Aaron Glenn and the Jets, do you not take a quarterback here? Because you run the risk, Trev, of if Aaron Glenn doesn't take a quarterback and say they start, name your placeholder. I don't even care. Do you like go with Kyler Murray, go with Mac Jones? I don't even know. Just like name your placeholder. And you'd have to trade for both of those guys at the moment.
Right.
If you win 5 games, are you getting the chance to draft a quarterback in 2027? The answer is no, by the way.
No.
So how are you going to be like, can't take Dante Moore? Like, we're not ready for that. And I understand why the Jets get criticized in terms of not being a great environment for a young quarterback. I've lived that, okay? I'm not oblivious to that. But that doesn't mean you just give up. So if they're picking at 2 and barring some wild move in the pro market and Dante Moore's in this draft and Mendoza goes 1, the pick has to be Dante Moore. Come on. What are we kidding?
I do agree with you. I think the only conversation that we really start to entertain is, well, and I will say, let me be clear. I agree with you because I think Dante Moore's worth it, right? Like
I'm not just taking a quarterback to take one,
but that's so if Dante, let's say Dante Moore's not in this class, because obviously, like, I think you are correct in the rant that you just went on about their situation. Let's say Dante Moore's not in this draft class. Let's say Ty Simpson is. You take Ty Simpson at 2?
No.
Right. I don't think you do that. So if there's a quarterback that you believe is worth it, I don't really think there's really a debate for anything else that you would possibly do. But if Dante Moore's not in this class, I think the Jets have full flexibility to trade down from this pick, to get creative with it. Like, I don't care that they have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. Who cares? If your best move is to trade down, do it.
Right.
So that was my only,
Yeah, that's a different combo. If Moore's not in the draft, then it becomes a wide open situation, and we'll see if we end up having that combo or if we continue to have this one where he is in the draft. But the Jets, man, like, they got to figure this position out, and they should send the Giants the biggest, or maybe the Cowboys instead, the biggest fruit basket ever as a thank you, because good Lord, who knows what it would have cost for them or any other team if the door was open to get into the 2 slot with the Giants picking there. Right. If there's 2 quarterbacks in this draft, the Raiders and the Jets should not open that door at all for any team, and I don't believe they will.
I don't think so either. So we're going Dante Moore here at number 2?
Yes.
All right, going Dante Moore at number 2. By the way, QJ is giving us a $5 super chat. We said that we'd read some of the topical ones throughout the show. I said for $5, I said, Trevor, I told you in the summer that my Panthers were going to win the NFC South. Carolina will beat LA. JC Merrick and Roseboom didn't play the last time that they played LA. QJ?
Credit where it's due.
You're correct. The Carolina Panthers did. Your Carolina Panthers did win.
That's a pounder.
The NFC South. That is, QJ is a pounder. QJ is absolutely a pounder. There's no doubt about it.
Like, alarm clock goes off.
Pounder through and through.
And he's like, time to pound.
Yeah.
Walk into the break room at work. Instead of play like a champion, keep pounding, hit the sign. Go get him.
Pounding hard or hardly pounding?
Yes. Oh, man. That's a good shirt. That's a good shirt.
Okay, that puts the Arizona Cardinals on the clock here at number 3.
Can I interrupt with one more super chat?
Yes.
Because it deserves it. Will, thank you for the $100 super chat.
Whoa!
He said, figured it out. Been an
Will!
addict for 3 years as a subscriber, and this is the first live show I catch, and the first word said. What an entrance. Dude, you're like when Goldberg came to the WWE right now. Or even better, Chris Jericho. Yeah, that's how it's done.
Look, I like this debut even better, to be honest.
It's yeah, you're right.
Will, thank you for the $100, man. We love having you as a subscriber. Just glad you could make a live show. We appreciate you, my friend.
Pro football will carry on.
Also, Jinx, I gotta shout this one out too. Jinx, a $50 super chat.
Dang.
Say, can barbecue have Uncrustables as a side? He's referencing my 3 sides minimum rule when it comes to barbecue. If so, how about mac and cheese and beans with garlic bread Uncrustable? I don't know how I feel about a garlic bread Uncrustable. But giving us a $50 super chat, you could say whatever. You have whatever side that you want, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's very true. You want the garlic bread Uncrustable, we'll send the chef back to the kitchen to garlic up your Uncrustable.
I was going to say, but you could actually get creative with it. And the garlic bread Uncrustable could also contain the mac and cheese and the beans.
Oof.
You know,
peanut butter, jelly, mac and cheese.
No.
Oh,
No.
It's the mac and cheese and beans Uncrustable. Don't challenge them. They will do it. But is it cornbread? Imagine that. I was like, sir.
To say the most unhinged
vile. Vile. That is truly disgusting.
We had to rope him back in, folks.
I was scared. I almost left.
Also, the second part of the super chat, regardless, can AJ Halsey make his way into late round 1? Caden McDonald, top 15, #vault me. I think both of those are well within the conversation to happen. I think Caden McDonald to be a top 15 pick. We might even get him as a top 15 pick here in this mock draft. I think it's more likely that he's a top 15 pick than AJ Halsey's a first-round pick, just because safety doesn't traditionally carry a ton of positional value. Even though I love AJ Halsey and I would probably take him back into round 1, I'm just not sure that he's going to get to that point. Anyways, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting here at number 3. You know, talk about a nightmare scenario for the Cardinals.
Yeah, a little tricky.
So close and yet so far with them at number 3 here. I think that they would love to trade down in this situation. Monty Ossenford has not been afraid of that in the past. They need to generate more pressure on their defense. And so you could think about a Ruben Bain. You could think about an Arvell Reese. You could think about a David Bailey. And so I think that perhaps they do entertain that, because I was shocked at how little pressures they recorded this year for as talented as their defense is. But with Josh Sweat, with Darius Robinson, with hopefully a healthy Walter Nolan, you're hoping that it's just it's better overall with a better defense. And now that Jonathan Gannon is out, you've got a new defensive mind sort of at the helm of things. So they could go pass rusher here. I might go pass rusher here.
Folks, he's thinking about the pass rusher.
I also think about Spencer Fano, of course.
I've seen this playbook from Trev 30,000 times in my life. Breaks down one position group for 10 minutes, takes a different position group in the next 20 seconds.
Because I think, okay, first of all, don't act like you know me.
You got David Bailey. You got Ruben Bain. I mean, you could make Arvell Reese an edge.
You tried to put peanut butter and jelly with mac and cheese not 30 seconds ago. And now I'm getting shit?
But let me tell you about this little gem called Jadarian Price. He's the pick at number 3.
They have a problem on their offensive line. Their offensive line has to be a lot better. Jonah Williams is an upcoming free agent. I think you'd want to upgrade and move on from him anyways. Now I'm going to pickle.
Are you scared of the T-Rex allegations against Ruben Bain?
No, I'm actually not. So
neither am I, man.
Whenever Ruben Bain comes off the board, we could have a fun conversation about that one. I'm gonna take Spencer Fano here.
I like it.
I'm just gonna take.
I like
Spencer
it a
Fano.
lot.
You have to upgrade the offensive line, and it's not like Spencer Fano is like a huge reach at number 3. Remember, like, you know, is he a Penei Sewell, a Joe Alt type of prospect? No, I don't think so. But you can only pick from the pool that you currently have in the current draft class. And Spencer Fano, I thought, recovered very, very nicely from a bad game that he had against Texas Tech. He played really well throughout the rest of the season. And when you take that game out, you look at the last 2 years. Heck, you can even keep that game in and look at the last 2 years. He has played incredibly well, very impactful. The Arizona Cardinals, no matter who is their quarterback next year, the offensive line has to be better. Spencer Fano at right tackle, Paris Johnson Jr. at left. I like that a lot for him.
Yeah, Giants don't love to see that, I wouldn't think. They don't love to see that. Okay, although they could bring back Illuminor and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Titans at 4. Boy, this is kind of like pick who you think is the best player. I don't really see a part of this roster where I go, you can't draft that.
Right.
Now, obviously, the top wide receivers are in consideration here, but I think I can add to that room, if not in free agency, but on day 2 of the draft as well, that I'm going to lean more of a premium defensive talent here.
You should.
The question is, do I go? I like Arvell Reese a lot for this team. I've said that a lot. But I also like both Bain and Bailey just to simply get after the quarterback.
Dude, Bain on a D-line with Jeffrey Simmons, who's coming off of a career year, and T'Vondre Sweat, who's coming off of a career year. I don't know what front they want to run next year, but
I know.
Those three dudes on the same D-line, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Bain. And I don't know if Ruben Bain will be over Arvell Reese and David Bailey on my big board, my next big board, because they're all such different types, right? That's the thing where it's interesting to talk about with them. But his power profile, man, and he's got some bend for a powerful guy. Some of his speed to power conversion for a more, we talk about the short arms and everything, a little bit of that Carl Lawson in him when Carl was really, really healthy and just wrecking dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Bain has taken over games this year. And if you're going to be a top 5 pick in the draft at obviously at non-quarterback, how do you take over the game without having the ball in your hand for most of the game? And now we've seen Ruben Bain on the biggest stage be able to do that at times. And that to me is such a selling point with him where I'm just not going to overthink this prospect, man. I'm really not. Outliers exist. And I don't look at Ruben Bain and go, well, length is costing him this rep and this rep and this rep over and over again. I don't treat him like that. So I'm comfortable with taking him to Tennessee. And like you said, Trev, that now the identity of this team starts to look like the defensive front.
Yeah. Dalton Wasserman, my co-host on the PFF NFL show, I don't know if the breakdown's not out, so it'll be out later this week. He's doing a breakdown on Ruben Bain and essentially the way that Miami sets up their defensive line. We talk about the pass rush and we emphasize the pass rush so much with Ruben Bain, but it's underrated just how impactful of a run defender he is. And when I say that, it's to the level of he's a change the math type of a run defender, where the way that Miami will align their defensive front, they will play the nose tackle, the 3 technique, and whoever the other edge is on the Key Mestor, but you know what I'm saying? They will play them on the other side of the center, essentially. And they will put Ruben Bain in the C gap or head up against the tackle. And they will basically, and what they do is they put him there and then they put Keontae Scott on that side of the line of scrimmage as well. And they basically say, go ahead, run that way. Try it. It's not going to work because they have a player who changes the math as a run defender. So a lot's going to be made of him as a pass rusher. The lack of length is something that is going to be talked about ad nauseum with him throughout this process, but I think that he is a hell of a player. So I love that pick there with the Titans at 4, and that trio of Sweat and Simmons and Bain is pretty damn nasty. Giants at 5 now. Well,
did you play yourself?
No,
I don't
think I played myself because we still have all the wide receivers to work with. Just kind of
and I think there'd be a Peter Woods conversation here too.
You think?
At least a combo.
Oh, I like Peter Woods. I wouldn't.
Me too. I don't love Peter Woods at 5 to the Giants, but I think there's a combo here.
Yeah, I mean,
I would take one of the receivers is what I would do.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of just how do you play it with Tyson's injury history?
I know.
Versus Tate. I don't know who I like as the more complimentary piece.
Well, You
for
do.
Neighbors.
You do know that's why you're having the debate in your head right now. If they had no receivers, I think you'd take Tyson. Since they have Malik Neighbors, you're thinking about Carnell Tate to complement him.
Right. Because I think that Tate's the better blocker. And I think that you could, anytime there's like a single wide receiver situation where you're playing them condensed and you're running the ball and it's a short yardage situation, I think you feel pretty good about Tate. You also like him as an out wide blocker for any sort of like swing passes or screens to Malik Neighbors, whatever. I think I'm going to go with Carnell Tate here. I think I talked myself into it. We go Tyson here a lot, and I like the idea of just two wide receiver one type of players in a singular offense, but I do really like what Tate brings from a reliability standpoint, from a blocking standpoint, and then of course, like the contested catch stuff, he's been a monster at. Really nice when it comes to his separation because of his quick cuts and his body control, and he showcased that he could be somebody that you lean on in the passing game. So I think I like this one the most here. I'll go with Carnell Tate here to the Giants because I feel like I go with Tyson all the time. So it's good that I got to get that out in the air as well.
All right, the Browns at 6. Kevin Stefanski officially fired. Andrew Berry rolls on. They'll look for a new head coach. Not taking a quarterback here. I'm fascinated by how the Browns play quarterback this offseason. Shedeur wasn't great down the stretch. He wasn't awful. But I think they wanted to see more from him, and they're obviously not just hitching their entire operation to the success or failures of Shedeur next year. But, this is an offensive line that needs some retooling, but I don't love it. The way the board lines up for that here. Man, this is pretty tricky, man. Like, you got Schlesinger, who looks great, which kind of makes me feel like Reese could play both edge and off the ball, but I'm not dying to get another guy that plays off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would take
like Reese being in this conversation is completely hinging on what Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's status is for now.
Which doesn't look great though.
No, it doesn't, but he's now had a whole year off, and so there weren't.
They know that answer.
There weren't going to be any updates before this point in time, anyway. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah.
Like, if Owusu-Koramoah is going to be back next year and they feel good about him, you're not really considering Arvell Reese. But if not, then that's a player that you probably would have loved to lean on that you might have the ability to replace pretty easily here.
I'm going to take Jordan Tyson because I don't love the top end of the receiver room.
Okay,
and now, whoever's going to be the starting quarterback, you have Harold Fannin, you have Jordan Tyson. You feel good about hopefully the run game improving, the efficiency of the run game improving with a healthy Judkins. He's got a little bit of a rehab ahead of him. But you just need talent in this spot, and don't overthink it. And Tyson is one of the best talents, in my opinion, in the entire draft.
Yeah, I think that he's immediately wide receiver one for them. I think the Browns are going to have some interesting conversations about quarterback as well. Obviously, there wasn't one to be had here in this draft with those two guys off the board, but with Stefanski gone, it's not like whoever's going to come in is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm married to Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel. Like, I think that both of those guys, it's basically just all right, prove it type of a thing. Washington's up at 7.
This fell really nicely for you.
Because of?
I think if I was Washington and I could have any player in the draft, I think it would be David Bailey or Caleb Downs.
Okay, so those are the two. That
I am in the war room, tarps off, swinging the shirt, like I can't believe this is my life. LeBron meme level stuff.
I am going to go with Downs because
tarps off.
Tarps off, baby. In a similar conversation to what we just had about Ruben Bain, I believe that Caleb Downs is a change the math type of a player. I believe that with the league being where it is, where nickel is the new base, that is the phrase that people say all the time. You only get to have that and have success there if you have the right specific nickel defender to make it possible. We see a lot of teams now gravitating and emphasizing that sort of player, right? How Kyle Hamilton was changed early in this season, where he was moved from being more of a deep safety into that linebacker and apex defender, slot defender type of a role. When Antoine Winfield Jr. has been at his best, is what he is doing. When Derwin James is at his best, that's what he is doing. You see the value that the Philadelphia Eagles have gained with Cooper DeJean because of what he is able to do in that spot. The Seahawks, it speaks for itself what Devon Witherspoon and Nicky Minwari have been able to do as a nickel defender combination. Caleb Downs gives you that type of ceiling as a defense. Does he fix things himself immediately for Washington? No, but no player is. They have so many needs that they have to fix on that defense. We have talked about how old that defense is, how old that roster is, and how they need to retool so much of what's going on in the defensive side of things. But it starts with getting the most talented and a player who could very well just have the highest football IQ of anybody in this class, a player with all sorts of versatility in Caleb Downs who could do so much for them. So however they continue to build the defense after this, this is who I want as the centerpiece. So I'm going to go with Caleb Downs here for Washington.
Yeah, big ad for Washington. Brings so much stability to the back end of their defense. But like you said, the stuff he could do up front, he has a sixth sense to kind of sniff out those screens, underneath throws. It's wild, man.
Leaf in the chat says, Trevor hates when the math is the same.
You do.
Yeah, and so do head coaches.
Right, it's what keeps coordinators up.
You got to be plus numbers in the math game. That's what you're trying to be. That's what football's all about.
Saints at 8.
Yep.
Once again, another team that I can kind of go a couple different directions. I think this is another one where the Peter Woods combo starts. But honestly, man, I'm just going to take one of my favorite players in the entire draft, and that's David Bailey.
All right.
I don't see where you walk out of the draft with David Bailey and don't feel like your defense got so much better. This dude, you watch the tape at Stanford before he transferred, and he was an absolute game wrecker. He goes to Tech, where he plays football on an even bigger stage with some of the games they had this year. Always shows up in the biggest moments. He is an absolute demon to block on an island. Absolute demon to block on an island. And I think he's better against the run than people. I don't know if it's because he's not a jumbo-size edge rusher, but everyone thinks he's just a total liability and zero against the run.
Right.
I don't think he's a zero against the run. I think he's developing against the run.
Right.
So David Bailey, worthy of a top 10 pick. And for the Saints, an end of an era for some of the older players on their roster, but this is an youth infusion of Bailey that's just another game wrecker.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had this conversation. Like, I thought about David Bailey potentially at number 3 overall. Like, that's how impactful of a player he is. And I think a lot of people are going to talk about him the way you talk about Nick Bonito. And I think that comes with natural praise, but also reservation, right? A lot of people look at Nick Bonito and they go, okay, well, he's sort of situational in what he does. It's like, yeah, well, what if you just build the whole thing out of the situation and you just get to have him on the field at all times? Now, does Nick Bonito get to do what he does without Zach Allen and Malcolm Roach and John Franklin Myers? Like, probably not, but they've set themselves up in a position where he is just a true game wrecker now for them every single week. I think the Saints have the ability to do that with David Bailey because they already have Carl Granderson, who's playing at an insanely high level this year. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
Man, he's good.
You have Chase Young. You have Brian Brzee. You have Cam Jordan. Well, I don't know if Cam Jordan's going to retire. And Brian Brzee, I know you could try to upgrade from him. But essentially, you have Chase Young and you have Carl Granderson to be able to play as heavy-handed guys, which frees up David Bailey to be a really good player for you. So I don't hate this at all. I think that David Bailey's range starts from 3 to, I don't know, what's the lowest David Bailey would go? 12?
Yeah.
Like the lowest David Bailey would go is 12.
If Dante Moore doesn't declare for this draft, then this range starts at 2.
Ooh.
At least the combo.
Connor Rogers said Will McDonald needs to step it up or get out of town.
God. The aggregation world right now. Scary times to be able to put words together. If you could speak, you could be aggregated at any moment.
That's true. It's true.
It's scary.
It's tough.
It's scary out there. By the way, speaking of scary, you have a dangerous power within your hands right now at number 9.
Yeah, the people were mad at you when you did this.
Yeah, well, I'm a mock draft troll. So, no, what was I supposed to do?
Chiefs are on the board here at number 11.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame is also still on the board.
Sure.
I think about Francis Mauigoa from Miami because I don't love the offensive line situation as a whole for the Chiefs. Like their run game wasn't good this year, but their offensive line was not great either. Josh Simmons missed time due to mental health reasons. He also missed time due to injury. Juwan Taylor's fine for you. What's Juwan Taylor's contract, actually? Can you look that up really quick? Obviously, they don't have Joe Thuney anymore, but they have Trey Smith and they have Creed Humphrey. I think about it is basically what I'm saying here. I think about offensive line.
They could save a lot of money if they cut Taylor this offseason.
Yeah.
I think, like a pre-June cut, they saved 20 mil. Yeah, and it's the same for post. So yeah. It's a lot of money. 7.
I don't know if Veach, I don't know if Veach will do it, but I'll do it. I'll take Jeremiah Love here. I don't know if Brett Veach will do it, but I'm going to do it. I would be shocked if Jeremiah Love is not a top 3 overall prospect for me. His eval was so easy. It was so good. Not only does he impact the game at an elite level as a runner, but also as a receiver. He brings you so much value in the passing game. He is built the way that you want an NFL running back to be built. He is so explosive with his track background. Jeremiah Love is everything that you could possibly want from a running back. You have these backs that have been picked in the top 10 over the last couple of years. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, guys like that. And it's like they bring value in the passing game as much as they do in the running game. I told you guys when we were going through the running back episode, I think I said this in the running back episode, I'd have Jeremiah Love ranked above Ashton Genty last year. I think he's that kind of a prospect. So I think he totally changes the dynamic for the Chiefs with what he's able to do. And I've said this before, but if he goes to Kansas City, he'll remind Chiefs fans of what Priest Holmes was doing for him in the glory days.
I like it, man. You know, this is a favorite of mine in this spot. Obviously, there's a combo with some of the defensive talent and wide receivers on the board. But
hey, this is very topical because Ty gave us a $100 super chat. You see this?
Great call. It's Bengals related, right? Thank you, Ty.
Yes. Well, first of all, Ty, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. We appreciate you. We hope you're enjoying the show. Love that you're a subscriber. Love that you're an addict. We appreciate you. The super chat is the Bengals need a guy on the interior defensive line. The young guys on defense finally started to develop. DJ Turner looked great. Dax Hill looks good opposite of him. Miles Murphy started to break out at the end of the year. They need guys on the inside of that defensive line. Connor, I do agree with Ty's super chat, not just because he's paying us to agree with him, but also because it's a very good point. And in fact, I wrote a mock draft for PFF.com, and I did give them Caden McDonald here at number 10, even over Peter Woods, because of what Caden McDonald can do for you as an elite run defender. Now, it's your pick. Not my pick.
I'm going to agree with you.
It's your pick. It's your pick.
I don't want it. I want you and Ty to make the pick for another $100. No, in all seriousnous,
we start just auctioning off.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any brave souls out there? You can take whoever you want. You
20, 25.
You like Jonah Coleman at 10? You got it for $200.
Luke Goatmeyer, 1 overall.
Yeah, do it. I don't care. Yeah,
for
Joe Burrow. Guess what? Camp
yours.
Competition, Joe Burrow. You're up against Luke Goatmeyer. Oh man.
Okay, so what are we thinking here?
I mean, obviously they do need an interior presence, and Caden McDonald is another one, much like David Bailey, one of my favorite players in the entire draft. But I'm taking Arvell Reese. This has gone too far. And their linebacker play, I haven't loved their linebacker play from what I've seen on tape this year. And yes, the Jets had the Bengals on the schedule, so I watched plenty of them. And I think that while they have some young players in the middle of their defense, Reese can handle a dual role. and he gives you some size in the middle of the field. And I think with his talent, this is probably as far as he falls. Now, if you just said, and hey, hopefully for the Bengals, you can go into free agency and get a 2-gapping, run-clogging presence on the defensive line that you don't just have to take.
Yep.
And I love Caden McDonald. And I have no problem if that's the pick in this spot, but hopefully you go into the draft with that shored up a little bit. And Joe Burrow's had some strong words on the organization.
For sure.
That they need to go into free agency and be a little aggressive for the defensive side of the ball. So I believe Arvell Reese would be my top player available at this point of the draft. And
sure. He's the top player available on the board. And to be honest with you, the chat's right. Like most likely he's not making it to 10, even with
but today he did.
Even with the hybrid projections that he has, which that would be the argument, right? Like, okay, full-time off ball, full-time on the ball. It's very similar to what we talked about with Jalen Walker last year. So there's a little bit of that, but he is so athletically gifted, such a impactful speed to power rusher. Like there's just so much there that he does at a very high level. So could very well go ahead of this. Again, like if you think about pass rusher, number 3 for the Arizona Cardinals, he's on the board. I talked about that when I was sort of making that pick. So there's a lot of people in the chat that wanted me to make that pick, but he goes 10 here to the Cincinnati Bengals. Before we get to 11 with the Miami Dolphins, this NFL OC betting segment brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. We got the wild card round coming up. And to be honest with you, Connor, one of the matchups that I'm really looking at for this upcoming weekend is with the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what the lines are yet for Saquon Barkley, the rushing totals for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the San Francisco 49ers since week 9 have had the lowest run defense grade in the NFL. And it is just in time for Philly to really want to get back to running the football now that the postseason is here and that they got those guys some rest last week by putting them on the bench while they were kind of figuring out what seed that they were going to have. So they draw a really good matchup. And to be honest, I love that one. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every playoff moment feel bigger. DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code PFF. That's promo code PFF to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you've got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPEN-Y or just text HOPEN-Y. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. And this is a limited time offer. Okay, Dolphins on the board here, number 11.
Mike McDaniel staying.
Mike McDaniel is staying. Tua is not going to be the quarterback of this team. They're going to need to replace Tyreek Hill because I don't think that he's going to be there anymore either. Cornerback's a major need for them. I don't think they'll take Peter Woods. I don't think they take Sonny Styles. I think they think about Mekhi Lemon, although they already kind of have like shorter, smaller receivers in Malik Washington and Taj Washington. Now, do those guys hold you from picking Mekhi Lemon? I don't know.
They shouldn't.
I don't think so. I love Jermon McCoy, though, even though he missed this year with an ACL injury. If the medicals check out, I think he's a stud. And then offensive line, too. Low moving cost. You could draft Maui Noah. He could play guard for you. Man, but I feel like you can get guards in free agent market. I'm not taking a guard here for them at 11.
Yeah, it's early. With the talent that's on the board.
I think I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon.
I mean, you know, Mike McDaniel, his ability to scheme Lemon and Waddle together.
I know it's going to be awesome.
It's pretty good. And maybe they go out and can you? Go
I haven't
out
done
and
this
Malik
one.
Willis?
I haven't done this one yet either. So I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon here.
You're looking to try new things.
I am looking to try new things. I think that's what life is all about. That's actually, unironically, the point of doing mock drafts, not just doing the same mock draft all the time. You got to see what's going to happen. The draft is unpredictable. Be unpredictable. It's my motto for 2026. Actually, it's a terrible motto. You want to be consistent. I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon here at 11 for the Miami Dolphins.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys at 12. One of 2 first-rounders for Dallas in this mock draft today. Man, the Cowboys here made some good moves, I think, at the trade deadline. You feel much better about the interior with Quinnen on it. Another team that probably could have used some pass rush.
Yeah.
But they need corner help, to me. Watching this secondary is a disaster.
Lowest secondary grade in the NFL this season, I believe, is the Dallas Cowboys.
I believe it. I get the chat that's looking at Sonny Styles. I love Sonny Styles. I think he'd probably be my top player on the board here. But
it's going to be tough for Sonny Styles to play for both the Cowboys and the Buccaneers is the problem. That's going to be the problem for Sonny Styles here at 12.
I'm going to take Jermod McCoy. I think McCoy has become victim of fans haven't gotten to watch him play lately, so they just don't care about him anymore. Like, you take Jermod McCoy in the mock draft, everyone's like, oh, all right. And then Jermod McCoy's the type of guy like, wait a second, this is an easy first-round talent when he's on the field.
Right.
And boy, do they need the help at corner. So
I mean, he was CB1 as a sophomore last year. So
you and I haven't moved him.
No, if the medicals check out with him, it makes total sense. I think people are going to be like, well, hold on. They've got Savone Revel and they have Deron Bland. It's like, yeah, but they need more than just those 2 guys. I think you've got to at least have 3 corners that you are very comfortable trotting out there to do whatever. And I think that Bland, how much has Bland played slot before? Let's look this up.
That's a good question. You have the power to do so. That's the amazing thing.
I do have the power to do so. Let's see. How much has he played in the slot in his career? Why is this taking so long to load? All right, it's taking way too long to load. I don't know how long how much he's played in the slot in his career, but hopefully he has, because I think that could be a pretty nice cornerback trio. I don't really think that Savone Revel can do it. I wouldn't want him to be a slot defender.
No, a true outside perimeter player.
Yeah. He's played a little bit. Oh, he played a good amount in the slot this year. Okay, so as a rookie, he played mostly in the slot.
That's what Austin in the chat said. Bland plays at his best at nickel.
Yeah, and then he played a good amount of snaps.
So we just solved the Cowboys' secondary woes at corner.
Love that.
Thank you. You could have the parade. Give you the key to the city.
There you go. It's a SpongeBob game for it. You already made the pick. Tyler already clicked the button, and you're just like, you're safe. LA Rams. LA Rams here at number 13. This is the luxury pick where the Falcons were. I think this is just Mansour Delane.
Corner.
Because they needed corner help.
Nice to see them re-sign Quentin Lake.
Or do they?
Everybody in the chat, I don't know if they're joking, but I've seen a lot of responses about Trinidad Chambliss. Chambliss, it sounds like, is getting his 6th-year eligibility waiver.
It sounds like he is. Yeah, I'm not going to pick him in this mock because one, I'm not 100% sure he'd be a first rounder anyways. Because guys, I think he's going to measure in pretty small. Like, I think he's going to measure in below 6 foot. And so he is going to be a classic, much smaller quarterback. But obviously, we've seen small quarterbacks go in the first round. He has been awesome to watch in the college football playoff. Obviously, if he continued this run, you would only hear more and more hype about him. And I even tweeted out like, yeah, he's a QB3, but QB3 doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a first round.
You soft launched that.
I did soft launch it.
That was a good move. That was a really good move by you.
Yeah, I'm soft launching it and saw what the people said, and the people love it. So now I'm all in on it. QB3, Trinidad Chambliss, if he's in this class. What about, man, if we're talking best player available for the Rams, what about like Caleb Banks? Because they have
another forgotten man.
They have Braden Fisk, who has short arms.
Well, Puna's there,
Puna
right?
Ford,
They're like tree stump run stuffer.
but that's what I'm saying though. He doesn't have like a ton of length.
No, Banks is a
Banks gives you a
huge
different
human being.
player. Even like Kobe Turner.
They like their undersized front.
Yeah, but I think you got to.
No, I agree. There's times where they
saying?
get run over because look at what Bijan was doing to them on that Monday night game. But dude, you mastered this pick though months ago, and I'm shocked you aren't going back to the well.
What is it?
Sonny Styles. You were the earliest person on this, and everybody was like, "Oh, Trevor, Sonny Styles in the top 15. You're an idiot." And now it's cool to take Sonny Styles in the top 8.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't get away from your roots.
Well, again,
genius.
It's going to be really hard to play for LA and Tampa in the same career. It's just going to be.
You're angling. You're angling.
I think that their linebacker play is fine. But Sonny Styles, I think, is LB1 for them, even with as well as like Landman has played for them. I just don't know if they do it, right? I wanted to do it in the mock draft because I wanted to talk about the idea mainly to just shout out Sonny Styles as a top 10 player in this class. But I mean, the chat wasn't wrong. They were correct in the fact that this is not a position that the Rams often prioritize. So is it worth putting him in a mock draft here? That was more of me really wanting to talk about him, like I said, as a top 10 prospect.
Right.
I think it's Delane.
Do it.
I think it's Delane. And I think they'll try to figure out offensive line stuff after this. Let's go Delane. He's the best corner in the SEC. He was the best cover guy in the SEC this year. And we'll have a much better idea of sort of what their cornerback room looks like once we get past free agency.
That puts me on the clock.
It does indeed.
With the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
I'll be honest here. I don't know what the future is for Justin Madubuike.
Yeah, right.
Now, yes, they extended Travis Jones, which was smart, but he's a different. That's not the kind of player I'm looking at for the Ravens right now. I need a disruptor for the Ravens.
Yeah, just draft Peter Woods.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, like you would think, like, well, they also don't have an edge pass rush. I think they still have a lot of belief in Mike Green. I don't think the Ravens are the type of organization to take a guy with no length in Cassius Howell. Like after just taking Mike Green.
Right. Yeah. Are you going to take 2 outlier arm length guys?
I think they'd rather just develop the guy they have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Peter Woods. I saw a lot of people saying Sonny Styles in the chat. I think I'm not thinking off the ball here. Like I'm thinking of somebody that up front can I think they're just trying to trigger you. Actually,
Mark gave us a $5 super chat and said, "Connor, please take Styles just to piss Trevor off."
Peter Woods for me. Peter Woods is still somebody that can disrupt from the interior.
Yeah.
He goes to Baltimore, and it's like, oh, Peter Woods back to being a star again.
Yeah.
He falls a little in the draft because of the season Clemson had, but I don't know what to think of the Madubuike situation.
No, that's another one where it's a neck injury. It's like the JOK stuff where it's like, man,
is this career altering ending?
Right.
Yeah. So Peter Woods, 14.
Yeah. I mean,
another key to the city for me.
The man's keychain. He looks like a janitor with all the keys to the city he's got here.
Dallas, Baltimore.
I've joked about this here on the show, but it's no joke. Sonny Styles should be
you got your wish.
The number 1 overall player on well, not the number 1 overall player on Tampa's board, but you guys know what I'm saying. The Buccaneers, I assume that Levante David has played his last snap of his Hall of Fame career. I think that he is going to retire. Savasi Dennis is a sub-package linebacker at best. And the rest of their linebacker depth are veteran guys or guys who are sort of fringe roster players. The Buccaneers need to have 4 new linebackers next year. Their linebacker room was one of the worst in the NFL. And I think that Sonny Styles immediately changes that. I think that you've got to draft Sonny Styles and you have to get a veteran. Like in my perfect world as a Bucs fan, they are signing Nakobe Dean and they are drafting Sonny Styles. And that is their 1-2 linebacker group. And then you have Savasi Dennis to be sort of that third linebacker for you. And you feel good about him being your LB3. He can't be your LB2 or your LB1. We saw that this year. So Sonny Styles, former safety, converted to linebacker. He's got so much athleticism, such great pound for pound strength. Didn't miss a single tackle all year. Good in coverage, good in run defense. He's a stud. I think he could go higher than this if a team wants to value linebacker higher, but he ain't getting any further than Tampa Bay, I can tell you that. So Sonny Styles at 15 to Tampa.
Yeah, everybody in the chat is calling the mock draft rigged, and
it is.
You'd be correct.
Yeah, correct.
It's absolutely rigged.
Yes. Yeah, collusion. Yeah, absolutely. The collusion is me and me. Like that's
I love restart. Some of the mock draft is for you. Some of the mock draft is for us.
Somebody said, what are other positions for Tampa if it's not Styles? I think that edge pass rusher like Romello Height, I would consider here. Absolutely. Cassius Howe, I would consider here. Absolutely. Guys who are one-on-one pass rush winners.
Head coach. With corner, the 15th pick in the draft.
Outside corner, perhaps, but I think they're going to let it ride with the guys that they have. It really, to me, is just Kalijah Cansey has to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's a game wrecker, man.
Has to stay healthy, and then they have to get a better pass rusher. It's either, like I said, I think the three people that you are considering, Cassius Howe, Romello Height, Sonny Styles. Those are the three. Keldrick Falk, you could. I just don't love Keldrick Falk as a pass rusher the way that the Bucs need to add a pass rusher here. So those would be the options.
All right. Back to the Jets. I forgot I picked both times for the Jets. What a fun little what a fun little treat hidden in the mock draft. This works out, man. The Colts bottoming out because there is a turning point of the draft, but we still haven't reached it. I'm taking Caden McDonald here for the Jets. The Jets are historically bad up front. Pick. You like that?
Yeah, it was good. Dante Moore and Caden McJet.
I mean,
that's pretty sick.
No more Caden McPounder.
Caden McWoody Johnson
taking his pounding ways to the Big Apple.
Caden McGlenn.
There you go. Yeah, keep rolling.
Get McGlenn.
Imagine Aaron Glenn calls him. What's up, Big Mac? Oh, man. Yeah, I love this pick. He just makes them so much tougher, and they were really, really poor up front. I understand everybody. The Jets are awful at off-ball linebacker, but the guys went, man. Like, I'll just look on day 2 and hope to get one. I think the Jets also might look in free agency maybe when they let Quincy walk to put somebody next to Sherwood. But in this scenario, now your front is Caden McDonald, Harrison Phillips. You hope for better years from Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald, and you have Jawan Briggs rotating in, who had a career year. You hope things get better.
So the chat is saying Howell or Falk for the Lions here at number 17. But I also see somebody saying Maui Noah to the Lions. Those are actually the three players that I was debating here, mainly two of them. Mainly it would be Cassius Howe or Francis Maui Noah. It kind of depends on what they think of their interior offensive line. Like, do they believe that Tate Ratledge could play center long-term for them? Because if they do, I can see a world where you draft Francis Maui Noah because he has the strength and the body size to be able to play as a starting offensive guard, especially on that offensive line. So you feel pretty good about it. You get maybe a Taylor Decker replacement if you feel good about Maui Noah moving out to left tackle at some point. That one's got more versatility to it. Are they going to be a team that's okay with Howell's arm length? I don't know, because it's.
I don't think they would take an undersized edge rusher.
I don't know. I don't know if they would. Not in the first round.
Good point. Yeah,
I think that they would be open to it in rounds, even 2, 3. But in the first round, I don't know about that. I think I'm going to take Francis Maui Noah here. And I'm going to look at the fact that the offensive line class is a little bit thinner. You get an impact guy. You get somebody who could play offensive tackle for you in the future, and you're able to give yourself the ability to draft an edge rusher a little bit later in the draft. So I'm going to go with Maui Noah here, because when you have an offensive line issue, basically the only place you're ever going to be able to upgrade is the NFL draft. Good offensive linemen don't hit free agency. Good offensive linemen don't hit the trade market. Pass rushers do. If you need a good offensive lineman, you got to draft one. And again, like that's part of what I talked about with the Cardinals at number 3, or what sort of my thought process was with the Cardinals at number 3 is I don't know how well that they actually upgrade their offensive line if they don't take one there. Now, would I have loved to trade down for Arizona? Yeah, probably could have discussed that a little bit more, but we'll do mock drafts with trades. But ultimately, that's my philosophy with offensive line. You have to draft one if you want to start in caliber one. So the Lions get one there.
All right, so for the Vikings, I'm kind of thinking about going down the same road here. For the Vikings, obviously the dream was picking high enough to get Jeremiah Love. That doesn't happen here. They just won too many games. They finished with 9 wins. That's why Brian Flores might be a head coach.
Would have won the NFC South outright.
Man, that's really nuts.
Damn, somebody brought up, I totally forgot. Like Aiden's arm length was significantly short for the Lions, and they still drafted him. But
yeah, but he's bigger.
Yeah, and I think Aiden was just an absolute stud, man. There was just so much to love about Aiden Hutchinson beyond the arm length. Anyways, figured I'd throw that out there.
Here's my question. This is a tricky one. I mean, I don't like Avion Terrell here. I know some people do. I am not an Avion Terrell first round pick kind of guy. Both McCoy and Mansour Delane went, so that hurts. Can any of their interior linemen kick to center and I can just take Ioane here from Penn State, Oliva Venga, Ioane, who would just be a total absolute wrecker at guard for them? Or is he going to get snaps through? Well, I haven't seen him actually accept an all-star invite, so I don't know that yet.
They have Will Fries, Michael Juergens, Donovan Jackson.
They used a pretty serious pick on Jackson, so
I don't think they draft a no lineman here.
I know.
I think they'd go corner.
What corner?
Probably Hood or Cisse.
Cisse would have a shot. Yeah, I like Colton Hood a lot. I think he's been pretty underrated.
Right. I think you think about it there. I don't think you think about or Halsey. I don't know if he goes 18.
I know.
Because Harrison Smith's probably going to retire. And then you're going to have Jay Ward, Tevier Thomas, who is he on a 1-year deal? Theo Jackson. I mean, they're going to need another safety. Now they can sign another safety. Safeties hit the free agency market all the time. But
let's go back to the general board.
Oh yeah, they got Metellus too. I forgot.
I mean, I think Banks is one of the best players. I just don't want to just reach for a position of need here to do that. That's just not a good process at all.
No, it's not. What's your D line like? Because D line looks like it's the best, right?
Oh, on the board for us right now, yeah.
Let's see.
It's not egregious at all to take Caleb Banks here.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm going to do.
Jalen Redmond's been great for them, but still, I mean, if you've got like Tyrion Ingram Dawkins who's coming up, you still have Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen,
right?
But I think but
those guys are aging.
Yeah, and when we did Fix Your Franchise for the Vikings, I think we moved on from one or both of them.
Right.
Take Caleb Banks.
Yeah, Caleb Banks is the pick. You get size.
Oh, or the Oregon.
I like Banks better.
You like him better than Amari?
Yeah. Obviously he doesn't have like the same ceiling as a disruptor, but his overall presence and floor and just making you that tough team in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Banks is a really, really good player. And I know Vikings fans, you're probably frustrated you didn't get what you think is a bigger need, but I don't know what you want me to do in this.
No,
I'm going to take that talent.
I actually think Vikings fans would be pumped about Caleb Banks or Amari Washington. I'd be very curious in the comments what Vikings fans think if you're watching this episode live or after the fact. But I would think that they'd be pretty pumped about this, to be honest with you.
And if I see,
all right, Deontay says that it's gross. All right, well,
yeah, I'd love to know what you guys would want. You can't trade out here. There's nothing to trade in for.
They also called peanut butter jelly, mac and cheese, and beans Uncrustables gross, and look where they are now.
Yeah, and now you can't even find them because they're selling out of the freezer aisle.
Yeah, now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the S&P 500. I mean, you can't get a single stock for less than $350 a share. I'm just trying to help you guys out.
Caleb Banks.
All right. The Pounders.
Yeah, it's time to pound.
I did this to myself. So we've got Cassius Allen or Mello Hyde on the board if they want better pass rushers. Keldrick Falk obviously is here too. If you're a big Keldrick Falk believer, obviously I think that you think about him here. They drafted Princely Umanmielen and Nick Scorton, and I feel like Nick Scorton has played well this year. Amari Washington.
Nick Scorton's played very well this year.
Amari Washington is actually really intriguing to me because I like the idea of having a really good 1-2 on the interior with Derek Brown. Like, I think A'Shawn Robinson is fine, but I think he's entering the last year of his contract. Who else is? I just looked this up this morning. They have A'Shawn Robinson. They have Tershawn Wharton as well. They have Cam Jackson, but Cam Jackson's more of a run defender for you. Bobby Brown hasn't been good for them this year. I don't hate Amari Washington. I guess because DJ Wanham's a free agent, they could go with another pass rusher. TJ Pounder. They need linebacker for sure, though. So if you're into CJ Allen, top 10 height,
he'd be next up.
He'd definitely be next up. You're hoping that he's just the John Beeson profile and you're just running it back. You're giving him Beeson's number. He's just defending the run. Hard-nosed player, setting the tone. What do you think? I think you're higher on Allen than I am, but 19, what do you think?
Yeah, 19's obviously a little rich, but I kind of hinted at it during the Jets pick. There's a turning point of this draft
where
it just opens up and you're either going to start nitpicking at need or you're going to take who you think are good football players. And I think CJ Allen's a really good football player. Does it excite you in this era to draft at 19 a thumping, run-stopping linebacker, off-the-ball linebacker? Like, typically, no. But then when you get into the playoffs and you got to tackle Kyron Williams and Saquon Barkley and whoever it may be, it's like, we kind of need that guy. So it's a tricky one, man. I don't envy this spot for you.
Luigi said Pound and Proctor. Caden
Pro
Pounder. I'm not gonna make a guard pick for them. They might have a big guard need when we get to the draft, but
they might not.
They might not. All right, let's go Cassius out. Let's take Cassius out.
That was it right there.
What?
You spend all the time on a position and then you take something totally out of left field.
Yeah, I got to keep you
like you're a master at it.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone as good at it as you.
Yeah, it's provocative.
It
gets
like,
people going.
I love it. It keeps me engaged into the mock draft.
It's because I gotta soothe the listeners, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna pick this guy, and then
kind of lull them.
I just yank the rug from underneath them. You know,
you really did.
What's the
life alert?
No. You better have that button ready, because here comes the rug.
I guess that was a bad guess.
If we had a soundboard, just life alert.
Don't give the chef any ideas.
Okay, you're up with the. No, what I was saying is, what's the phrase? I say it all the time, and now I'm blanking on it. Where you fall in love with your captor. Like you're a prisoner and you fall, you essentially like you
Oh,
grow fond for the person who is actually keeping you captive. What is this?
well, it's not like Stockholm syndrome, right?
Yes, no, that's
That's
exactly
exactly what you're thinking of.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's exactly
yeah,
what I was thinking.
Stockholm
Yes,
syndrome.
yes,
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
the chat. Well,
yes.
the chat, like 40 of them in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. Dallas at 20. They picked Jermod McCoy at 12. So the corner room looking a lot better right now.
They could go CJ Allen as well.
They could very well go CJ Allen. I wonder if they signed Quincy Williams to go play with Quinnen again.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like destiny.
Could be.
I think he'd have a bounce back year there. I do. He had a rough year, but I think he'd have this is a guy who was an all-pro recently, and they probably get him for cheap. I think Pickens is back with them just because I think it's the best thing for both sides. This is where it gets kind of tricky, man. I'd like more pass rush. There's not a safety I would take here. This is the part of the draft that's just like you feel you're taking someone at 20 and you're like, it's weird to think of that player as the 20th overall pick in the draft.
But somebody's got to go 20.
Somebody has to go 20. Can we go all the way back up?
It's
Keldrick Falk is what were you thinking? Romello Height?
No. Well, I was thinking CJ Allen, but I actually like your ideas better.
Yeah, it's very them.
I gotta hand it to you.
Thanks. Once in a while I get one.
As much as I don't love it, I gotta hand it to you.
9 million mock drafts later, I'm starting to get the hang of this thing.
Yeah. Keldrick Fall's basically like younger Jadeveon Clowney.
Keldrick Falk is such a Jerry, and not just Jerry, but like you could see Will McClay and their scouting group valuing his size and stoutness on the edge. And you know, for people saying like, you know, they need some, and he's not a rush first kind of guy.
Somebody said Poundrick Falk.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Who was I just thinking of that?
Oh, dude.
Oh, Davis Araku. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, hell yeah, they do. It's my guy.
Yeah. So for you're going to get more pass rush out of him. I'm going by their type here, and their type to me would be Keldrick Falk.
Definitely. I agree with you. Okay. Wait, $5 super chat. Nathan says, as an NFLSE addict that's also addicted to the Discord soundboards. Wow. Let me just start creating the NFLSE Discord soundboard. Will work for Uncrustable. Shout out the NFLSE Discord. Almost have 3,000 people in that bad boy.
I just love, sometimes I'll just say good morning, Pounders. And then I'll leave for the day.
You just drop it in there.
And then I go on my way. Just to let them know that I am one of them.
Yeah, no, 100%. You got to do it.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Can we scroll up and just give people the recap, Tyler, on some of the picks that we got here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Discord is free, Logan.
It is indeed free. Yes. Come on down, people.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, before we get to what do we got next? Steelers. I think the Steelers are at 21, right?
Yep. For now.
Our game plan of the week. That's true. Our game plan of the week is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Our game plan of the week here. I'm going to take one of the picks that we had here in the mock draft, which now I can't remember exactly the one that I wanted to pick here. Oh, the Washington Commanders. That was the game plan that I wanted to go with. Taking Caleb Downs at number 7. Don't overthink it. Good football player. Changes the math, as the people in the chat would remind me to remind you that I need to be reminded that I like. Caleb Downs is just one of the best players in the draft. And I think it's a good game plan because the Washington Commanders have to get improvements so many spots on their defense. And Caleb Downs allows them to be flexible with best player available over the next couple of off seasons to be able to do just that. Just like every team win starts with a great game plan, your future should as well. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect you and your family so you can focus on winning today, knowing that tomorrow is covered. Whether you're just starting out, building your dynasty, or looking to lock in long-term protection, their coverage options are designed to match your game plan. Visit westernsouthern.com/PFF to get your free life quote and start building your financial game plan. Western and Southern, built to win, backed by over 130 years of helping protect what matters most. All right, here we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's very easy. This is a team that desperately needs a complimentary wide receiver to DK Metcalf, regardless of who the quarterback is going to be. Although it doesn't feel like Aaron Rodgers is ready to hang him up. Kind of sounds like he's having some fun in Pittsburgh.
Well, the best part is he won't let them know before the draft.
No, why would he?
He's gonna go somewhere and
before training camp. Don't let him know before week 1. Don't let him know before halftime of week 1. Suit up, walk into the locker room like Dean Portman from D3, the Mighty Ducks movie, where he just happens to find his scholarship lying around his apartment in Chicago, and then he signs it. Now all of a sudden he's on the ice for the third period as JV's taking on varsity. That's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do there. I really hope that somebody out there got that extremely niche D3, the Mighty Ducks reference. Really hope that somebody did. Denzel Boston is the pick here. They need it's such an easy pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anytime that he makes it in a mock draft, I know it's old, I know it's tired. He has to be the pick. I think that he gives you some smoothness to his routes as a big X-wide receiver. You feel good about the size that you have between him and Metcalf. They're two guys that can do a lot of the same things, but I do think that Metcalf is certainly more straight line athletic, but I think that Denzel Boston is a little bit smoother and savvier in how he runs routes. And so I think both of these guys could complement themselves or both each other very, very well, despite the fact that they are bigger receivers. I like their skill set together in the same offense. So we're going to go Denzel Boston here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I also think would consider offensive line, but it depends. We'll see when we get to the offseason. We'll see.
Chargers at 22. For the Chargers, the story of their year has been all the injuries and struggles on their offensive line. This is where, and I talked about this during the Vikings, but I'm going to take Olayiwola Ioane, the guard from Penn State, man. Like, talk about somebody just built for Harbaugh, right? Big, tough, but better in pass pro than you'd think at his size. That's what really stands out on film when you watch him. You're like, wow, this guy can kind of match interior movements better than you'd expect for his size. Man, I feel like I just got the key to the city for LA, by the way. The Chargers fans,
another one?
Yep.
Another key?
Another one on the ring. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. Get Joe Alt back. Get Rashawn Slater back. Put Ioane on the interior. Let's kick some ass. No-brainer pick.
So the Eagles are up at number 23. We talked about this when we were doing the Eagles 3-round mock draft with Kenny and Sadiq here. I think you think about it certainly with Dallas Goedert as a free agent. It sort of just depends on what your ceiling and thoughts are overall with Sadiq. I think Caden Proctor is also in the conversation here. I like the idea of drafting him as, okay, he can play tackle for you. He can play guard. I also, Connor, to be honest, I love the idea of Caleb Lomu. Bring Caleb Lomu in. He gets to sit behind Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson. Yeah. He gets to take over for Lane Johnson when he retires. I mean, Lane's going to be 36 next year, and he hasn't played since week 10. Like, so that getting the offensive tackle in waiting, I think, is something that this team would really want to do. Actually, I like Lomu for this team more than I like Proctor. Do I?
Man, it's going to be a gem when you take Christian Miller after all this.
I know.
It's the setup, folks. Watch the man work.
Yeah, we'll go Garrett Nussmeier here. No, okay.
Got to get somebody waiting in the wings. Tanner McKee's going to be traded.
I like the Lomu pick. Let's see. What's their interior line look like long term? Brett Tote's a free agent. They do have Tyler Steen. It kind of just depends on whatever they think of Tyler Steen. Because they have Fred Johnson as well. They drafted Cam Williams. It also kind of depends on what they think of Cam Williams. Do they think that he is a developmental tackle where maybe he takes over for Lane Johnson one day? I know he's a 6th-round pick, but he had a lot of talent. He just was far away from achieving that at an NFL level. I think I'm actually going to take Lomu.
There it is.
I like Lomu as just the developmental offensive tackle that can sit behind Lane Johnson. Let's go with Caleb Lomu, the offensive tackle from Utah. He's got all the tools. I just think that he is young. He's a redshirt sophomore this year. So he's somebody who just needs some time. And what a better place to get some time than behind two of the very best in Mailata and Lane Johnson.
Bills at 24. Just need more playmakers, man. That's what it comes down to for Buffalo. I know Buffalo fans would love, can you go make a big move for Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson or even Denzel Boston? They're all gone. I'm okay with taking Casey Concepcion here, man. Just his ability to stretch the field vertically and from a horizontal perspective, what you could do with him with the manufactured touches, but also, like I said, this is a guy you turn on the tape and he goes up against Cisse and he smokes him over the top. So this guy can win down the field, which I know they were hoping for that when they signed Josh Palmer to that 3-year deal. I think they were hoping for more from Keon Coleman, obviously, when they drafted him. But Concepcion, to me, like, get somebody that scares the defense a little bit, and his presence, I think, does that.
It's funny, when I picked Denzel Boston for the Steelers at 21, there was somebody in the chat who was saying that Concepcion would have been a better pick. I don't agree with that, because I think that Denzel Boston's just a better receiver. And I also still like the way that Boston and Metcalf can play together. But I wonder how many like Steelers fans and Bills fans would be like, hey, let's trade, because Denzel Boston gives the Bills a bigger bodied wide receiver who could, in theory, be a wide receiver one for you. And maybe there would be Steelers fans who are like, no, we need to improve the underneath game with Casey Concepcion. Especially, I'll be honest, if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback next year, Concepcion probably does make more sense for the Steelers. But it's just, I like both of these receivers at both of these spots. I'm just very curious, like Steelers or Bills fans, let us know in the comments, either live or afterwards, like what you think of both of these receivers and who you might rather have. I'm very curious. The Chicago Bears on the clock here at number 25. I just need to get better at pass rusher. I know that TJ Parker is the very common pick for them there. Depending on what happens at their safety spot, I think that AJ Halsey absolutely could be into play here. I think it was Drake who was shouting out Dylan Thieneman as well, the safety from Oregon. And I know my co-host at the PFF NFL show, Dalton Washington, loves Thieneman as well. I think that safety starts to become part of the conversation here for the Bears, depending on how many of those guys that they can bring back, because they got a bunch of them that are hitting free agency. I would still pick Romello Height or TJ Parker. I'll go Romello Height. He's just the one-on-one pass rush ability from him, the hand quickness, like all of that has been so good this year. The pass rush win percentage is great. Elite pass rush, great on true pass sets. He was good at
front, man.
He was good last year. He has been elite this year.
Yeah,
he has really taken it to another level. So, giving the Bears a one-on-one pass rush winner on third and long situations, I think could be very key for them to continue to have this winning window open. So we'll go Romello Height.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fascinating to see how early all David Bailey, Romello Height, and Lee Hunter are gone.
Dude, I even like Skylar Gill-Howard. He's missed most of the year, but yeah. I liked his early stuff more than I liked Hunter's early stuff.
I remember him being stock up for you, I thought.
Yes.
In September. Yes. Yeah, so it's insane. And then you got Jacob Rodriguez running around behind them.
Wild.
Yeah, they went out and really built one hell of a defense. The Niners...
Did you see they got Sorsby?
I did.
Yeah.
That's a good move by him.
Great move. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to a program on a big stage that buys talent left and right.
Yep.
He's still got to develop, but he's got all the tools. I like that.
Yep.
The Niners at 26. This is going to seem like kind of a fun pick. And I know it's weird because they have so many problems on defense that are largely injury related right now. But I don't really love the defensive board. I'm going to take Kenyon Sadiq. And this is a league right now that so many teams are trying to match up with 12 and 13 personnel. Kittle is as good as it gets in this league. Obviously a guy that's, getting older, but still at the peak of his powers when healthy. We're going to see if they bring back Juwan Jennings. Ayuk's gone. Pearsall's never healthy. There's not a wide receiver here that I love for them. I think Kyle is somebody that could draft a wide receiver on day 2 and make him a starter. We've seen that before. But for me, Sadiq would create such a unique matchup advantage for them with him and Kittle on the field. And if anybody knows how to utilize him, it would be Kyle Shanahan.
Wow.
Think about how good of a middle of the field Brock Purdy.
Look, I've never thought about this pick before, but
because Sadiq, I'll be floored if Sadiq is here. Sadiq is going to run what, a 4.44.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah. I don't think Sadiq is going to be here, but if he was, and the Niners don't have a defensive stud. Like I probably would have taken Romello Height if you didn't just take him.
Oh, really?
Maybe. They're weird, right? Because they have Nick Bosa.
Christian Miller is the guy who I would have thought of.
But they just took Alfred Collins.
No, I know, but
Christian Miller's a great run defender.
Lowest run defense grade in the NFL this season.
They have no people.
Or second half of the season.
Yeah. Like you take Fred Warner off that defense, and it's like, huge. Man. They just ran out of people.
Right.
I saw some of the chat saying Caden Proctor. I'm not very high on Caden Proctor personally. I don't think he has the feet to play tackle long term, which is once upon a time what I said about JC Latham. And I hope he proves me wrong. But I think he can play guard. But once again, Sadiq with Kyle Shanahan, him and Kittle in the same offense, Brock Purdy being their quarterback, like he's somebody that would utilize both those guys. This would excite me as a fit.
Hadn't thought of it before, but very intrigued. Color me intrigued here. Houston Texans 27. I think this is probably the Caden Proctor spot.
How much zone did they run this year? You would think with Woody Marks they'd
not
run
as much,
but not as much, right?
Not as much. No, I think they ran a lot more. Where is this? They ran a lot more.
Man, our listeners love Pregnon from Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
And I get it. I'm not hating.
Sounds like you are.
It does sound like I am.
The Texans ran gap scheme between the tackles 35% of the time. Next closest was inside zone at 21%, tied with outside zone 21%. So if you kind of lump inside zone closely with man and gap scheme power run blocking concepts, they ran a ton of power. And like that's a Caden Proctor thing.
Or a slot receiver.
Yeah, it's true. They if Jalen Noel ever goes down,
good depth to have.
It is good. It is good depth to have. I'm gonna go. I think I discussed this with Dalton on the PFF show earlier this week. I think something that the Texans need to do is just really, really hone in on what they want to be in the run game next year. Because I think this year they just tried to throw bodies at the offensive line. Like, let's just get a bunch of guys and just try to figure it out because we're so desperate to do so. And I don't know if their preference is to run more power run game or if that's just the people that they had. So I think that they need to determine what kind of run scheme they want to mainly be, and then also draft a complementary running back with Woody Marks according to that strategy. So I just think being very intentional with building their run game is going to be very important this offseason. But I am going to go with Caden Proctor here from Alabama.
Browns at 28. I'd love to look at the offensive line board. I took Jordan Tyson with their first pick, which at wide receiver gives them a big boost. Man, this is probably where I'm going to take our boy that we were just talking about, Emmanuel Pregnon.
Elite zone blocker this year. He's been excellent. And if I know Stefanski is gone, but if they want to, like, for example, if they fire Stefanski and they hire Clint Kubiak.
Right.
Emmanuel Pregnon.
It's kind of funny in a way, but that's the league. Yeah. This is lock it in.
Okay.
Browns are going to start working on getting this O-line right.
I think the combination of offensive playmaker and offensive lineman in whatever order you want here in the first round makes the most sense for Cleveland. I really do. Rams on the board now at 29. Who we take with them earlier at 13? Who did I take for them?
Not Sonny Styles.
I would never. Mansour Delane at 13.
You talked about getting a bigger defensive lineman for them, like a tougher.
I did.
And now Christian Miller is there.
Yeah, but I wonder if they take Amari Washington at this point, right? I mean, 29, he's just got a crazy first step. What is he, 330 pounds? They kind of already have that player, but like, do you believe that he's just this talented where you take him? He's a good run defender, and I think he just gives you those splashes in pass rush that you really get excited about. Can we keep scrolling down a little bit, Tyler? See if anybody else jumps out. I don't really think so for the Rams.
It's pretty incredible how little we talk about LT Overton compared to 2 years ago, what he was expected to be.
I just think that he's fine.
That's right. Like
I just
he'll
think
play in the
that he's
NFL
fine.
for long enough, and
yeah, I think he's fine. He was banged up this year, and he just was not nearly as productive. But
right.
I remember loving him initially when I watched him last year because he was draft eligible, and loved
there was
him.
There was some rumors like, hey, this guy might declare and be a first rounder.
And I just, the more I watched, the more I was like, I think you're kind of limited, actually.
Yep.
Lack of length, tweener build, not a D tackle, but not an edge rusher. He's just not going to be for everybody. I still think a good football player, let me be clear, but an impact first round type of football player, I don't know. Oh, who are the tackles that are left? I don't know if they'd consider any of these guys here. You know me, I love Blake Miller. Like, I think about Blake Miller. I love the potential of Nicky Prongos. I don't know if they're drafting him in round 1. No, let's I'm going to take Amari Washington. I'm just going to take Amari.
Okay.
I just think it's a talent thing. Just take Amari Washington.
Patriots at 30.
Indeed.
I think I'm going to take R. Mason Thomas
here. Yeah, baby. We did it, chat. We did it. We did it.
Pure pass
Water
rush
on
out.
A rock, baby. Drip, drip, drip.
Pure pass rush help.
We got him.
And you look at that great
Kent State game. Playing NFL O-lineman against Kent State. Just ripping him a new one.
The great against Alabama, he was like 30% healthy. Yeah. If that. Some of this, like, he was not healthy. So, yeah, R. Mason Thomas, get the New England a pure pass rusher off the edge.
Yes, there we go. The Denver Broncos. C.J. Allen, right? Yeah, it's got to be. Got to be C.J. Allen. I think he's got to be C.J. Allen. I think he makes the most sense for him. They've got a linebacker need, and there's really not a lot of other needs here. Kenyon Sadiq, you think about from the tight end spot. Maybe Jadarian Price gets thought of here.
Yeah, it's 31.
Man, you think?
I think Jadarian Price is going to be a big time stock up, like riser kind of guy.
I think Jadarian Price is interesting because even though I'm overall, I wouldn't consider him in the first round. He would have gotten a bag NIL wise to stay at Notre Dame. He would have been the guy and would have started the whole season without Jeremiah Love.
He knows he's going early.
So he's got to be going early.
He's going early.
He's going to be going early. With the Broncos drafted. What do you think?
I never put anything, but I mean, Sean Payton took RJ Harvey, like 64th last year? They extended their center. I know he got hurt for the year, but Sadiq's gone.
Is that Wattenberg?
Yeah.
The center? No. Man.
What's the chat think of this one?
James says Michael Trigg from Baylor.
Oh, wow. I did not have that on my bingo card.
Oh, also CC saying not having Eli Raridon in the sim is a fireable offense. I believe I just got him in this morning.
Beautiful.
Can you check that?
Eli Raridon.
Wow, there it is. There it is. There it is.
He's a good player.
There it is. You can handwrite your apologies in calligraphy. You can mail it to the business account.
They do need a receiver again, but I just don't know. Like, how much do you love Surratt?
I mean, I love him a lot, but I don't think this team's drafted one of those guys.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting one because we just passed Keith Abney. Do you get ahead of corner like it felt like you got ahead of it with Jahdae Barron? So Jaquan McMillan's a free agent. You can let him go because you have Jahdae Barron, so you could just play Jahdae Barron more next year. Riley Moss enters the last year of his deal. Do you draft like Keith Abney to still be 4 deep at corner, and then you let Riley Moss walk the next year? So you're constantly paying Patrick Surtain, but you're still drafting studs at corner that
makes sense.
Contracts.
And Abney is probably worthy of this slot. Like the tape is really, really good on Abney.
I know.
He's going to test well. Yeah.
It's probably dumb, but let's take Keith Abney here.
I don't think it's dumb. He's a good player.
I'm having fun doing some different.
You're having a good time.
Yeah, we always have a good time.
All right, Seattle at 32 since they won the Super Bowl. I am often reminded how much this fan base would like anyone else to play on their offensive line besides Anthony Bradford.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at guard.
I'm
taking Sarafeld.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in this class. Did he declare? I have no idea.
Oh, God. This time of year is just...
Yeah.
Let's see the latest.
As long as he hasn't officially said no, I think we're good to go. Man, Chase Besantis, a really great guard as well. I know it's a little late. Well, I'm not considering him here at 32. My boy Jennings.
Nothing on Sarafeld's status.
Is he a senior? I didn't think he was a senior.
Thought he was a redshirt junior.
Yeah, I don't think he.
Yeah, so I'm going to take him here and play him at guard. It's admirable like how he filled in this year at tackle. They went into camp and had a tackle battle. And it was kind of a surprise that he came out on top, but I know Sarafeld didn't have a good playoff game, but he's not a tackle. Like we've been saying all season, he's not a tackle. He's an NFL guard and a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't cooled on him because I've always projected him as a guard. He is a true junior. It's some of these school web pages like do not make it easy.
No, it's awful.
There's 90 bullet points. None of them are about his class. I was a stabilizer along the line last season that was decimated by injury to 2 starters. Like you're starting to write a novella. I watched the games. You don't got.
No, they're forming the narrative.
This is Get Up on ESPN. I'm on Get Up on ESPN on Ohio State's football page for Austin Sarafeld. All right, he's the pick. I like him.
Big there, 32.
Well, the line was decimated by injury, and he filled in. And I just want to know if he's a junior. How tall is he? Is he 320 pounds? Well, also they went to camp and he won a battle, but the coach liked everybody. Who's writing these things? Who is spending time doing this? This is what George R.R. Martin's been doing instead of writing the final Game of Thrones book. Yeah, I'm cold open farming. So what?
Yeah, you're 100% cold. That's why I was letting you go off.
Yeah.
Some picks from some teams that did not have first round picks. The Colts pick at 47 in the second round. Colts pick. Corner?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry. They
returned Sauce.
They didn't return Sauce yet. What's a need for them other than quarterback? Obviously,
they need pass rush help badly.
Interior because they have Latu.
Yeah, you need more than him, brother.
No, you don't. Edge 1, brother.
Edge 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, what's your problem?
You doubting him? You doubting him?
Yeah, what's your beef? 21.3% pass rush win percentage just last year when he was at UCLA.
You would memorize that.
Bet you didn't think I knew that off the top of my head.
You would memorize that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so who's an edge rusher that they could? 47? I mean, maybe TJ Parker's in.
That's quite the fall from grace. Oh, Leatherhead.
Oh, yeah. Not Leatherhead.
Leather helmet. Leather helmet. Leather helmet.
It's Akeem Messidor. Okay, so the Colts are getting Akeem Messidor at 47. Atlanta's at 48. What do we think about Chris Bell Jr.? I know he's got the ACL tear.
That makes sense, though.
right?
Bring some juice.
Like that for them at 48 because they need another receiver. And then our old pal, our old friend, the Green Bay Packers at 52.
All right.
Is Gabe Akis?
It could be Gabe Akis.
Joshua Joseph? Oh, Brandon Cisse if he makes it there?
Cisse. Any corner help.
Or Chris Johnson. Yeah. Brandon Cisse if he gets there, or Chris Johnson from San Diego State.
We'll see what Diggs can do in this little tryout.
Oh, yeah, right.
But, I mean, his money's not guaranteed next year, so they can just cut all 15 million of it.
And then Jacksonville's sitting at 60. Damn, they don't pick till 60. I forgot. What's Jacksonville need? Probably offensive.
Man, they are a really good team.
The
more you watch them, you're like,
this
team.
This is I'd be cool with Jadarian Price here.
I was just gonna say running back.
I'd be cool with him here.
Yeah.
Jadarian Price.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm great with it. You could even convince me in a little Jonah Scott. Or Jonah Coleman, excuse me.
I was gonna say, who's Jonah Scott?
Daniel said Pound Deontay Scott for Keontae Scott. So that's why my brain was
you were just
fried.
Blendering prospects.
Yeah. There we go, folks. There's the full first round mock draft. Let us know what you thought here in the comment section. If you're not watching this bad boy live, if you want to hit us up and give us some feedback at NFLSE Show on all socials, at Tampa Bay Trey for me, at Connor J. Rogers for him. That's the best way that you guys can do that. Join the NFLSE Discord. We almost got 3,000 addicts in there, and it's so much fun. We're really loving it, having a good time going back and forth with you guys, which we'll be able to do so more so now that the regular season is over, honestly. We're getting a little bit more flexibility and free time. Connor's dropping in saying, what's up, Pounders, every morning. So obviously you'll miss that. You won't be able to start your day with that if you're not.
Coffee, say good morning to the Pounders.
Right, exactly. So I think the link to join the NFLSE Discord will be in the link to this video, and then we'll try to get it on our socials as well, so it makes that easy as possible for you guys. Wednesday, we are giving you our tight end rankings.
Hell yeah.
Tight end. There's a lot of different tight ends in this class. I
saw Eli Raridan in the simulator.
Eli Raridan's in the simulator, so I got eyes on him. So we're going to watch a lot of the guys who are at the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, all that good stuff, and we're going to give you our rankings for the tight end position. Connor, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I'm excited for the tight end prospects. Did we not do one this summer? I feel like we didn't.
No, we did, because we had Max Clare. We went back, wax poetic about Max Clare.
Oh, Big Christmas.
Yeah, and Big Christmas. That's where Big Christmas came from.
I am lost, folks. Yeah. Anyways, it'll be good to update the tight end. I've watched, I think, 3 or 4 new players where I'm like, damn. This has been the class where I didn't know enough about it going in, besides all the names we did over summer and the guys I got to see in the Big Ten this year. And I feel like I'm never going to finish. There's just so many solid players. So that's going to be a really strong show. I didn't feel that way about running back. When I got to like 7, 8, 9, I was like, oh, man.
Right.
But I was looking at the Shrine roster. The Shrine roster has good tight ends.
A lot of really good tight ends.
Yeah. So it's a strong tight end class. I'm excited for that show. And we will keep rolling, my friend.
And to be honest with you, that's where the NFL is going. So you're going to see so many more teams just get as many tight ends as possible on their team, because it just gives your offense so much flexibility. If you gave us super chats, or if you just want to hang out while we read the super chats here, stick around for the after the episode portion of the show, which is about to start in a couple of seconds here. If you are watching this after the fact, you could see all of this in the mailbag episodes that we combine a lot of these after the episodes questions, and we post that video on Friday. So you'll still be able to see it, but for everybody else, just wait a couple seconds here as I outro the show. Appreciate everybody watching and listening to another episode of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. For Tyler Cook, the chef behind the glass, for Connor Rogers, I'm Trevor Sikkema saying we will see you guys on Wednesday.